People will do a roundhouse kick and then a front kick, and then they stop. That drives me nuts. Hi lovelies! Today's Wednesday, so we are going to do a karate video. So I had you guys vote on Twitter, and this is the results. You all wanted to see hook kick, back kick, and roundhouse kick. Roundhouse kick got 34%, the other two got 33%. See this? Can you see it? Can you see it? There it is. So I'm going to do roundhouse kick first, and then I'm either going to do hook kick or back kick. I think I'm going to end up doing another one on hook kick. But yes, I have my uniform on today, and I'm really hot. These things are really hot. In the summertime, our instructors actually let us take off our tops, and obviously we'd have a t-shirt or something on underneath, and we'd have to keep our belt and our pants on, but it would get so hot they would let us take it off, and we were like, yes! But yeah, I'm not joking about them being extremely hot. But today we're going to do roundhouse kick. I've showed this before, so I'm going to show roundhouse kick, how you actually do it, and then there's like a ton of things you can do with roundhouse kick. It's such a basic kick that you can turn it into all of these different combinations, and you can incorporate it into just about anything. Just about anything. So we're going to do roundhouse kick. In some systems it's called roundhouse kick. In some systems it might be called wheel kick. I mean, it's different, but for us it's roundhouse kick. So let's get started. And just to let you guys know as well, I have dysautonomia, which can make these videos difficult. Basically, my autonomic nervous system that controls my heart rate and blood pressure does not work, so my heart rate can go extremely high just from breathing. So if this seems chopped, or if this seems edited or choppy, it's because I had to cut out moments of me not being able to breathe. So just so you know, if it looks like that, that's why. Okay, as you guessed, roundhouse kick is not a straight line technique. I think recently I've done a lot of straight line techniques. Roundhouse kick it's in the form of a hook kick, so it goes across your body. One of the benefits of roundhouse kick is it is a power kick, and you can also use it for speed depending if you do it off your lead leg or if you do it off your reverse leg. So let me show reverse leg first, because that's most common. So you're in a fighting stance. What you're going to do is you're going to bring your foot up to the front and then snap. Now this is how you know that you've turned your hip over enough. We're facing here. I'm facing at this wall. I'm right at this wall. You want to, when you're done with the kick, you want to be facing here. So initially, let's say I start here. I'm going to come straight forward, and then I'm going to end here. So if that helps you, if you're in a place where, okay, here's my starting wall. So here, I'm going to be at this wall. Then I'm going to be facing this wall, and then I'm going to be facing this wall when I'm done. Some people in Taekwondo, we were taught 45 kicks, so that would mean that I would come up here and I would kick here and be down. I would be in between my middle wall and my last wall. Those kicks are generally used for speed. They lose a lot of their power because you don't get the whole hip rotation, and they can also look like a front kick. So you lose a lot of your power. So if it's hard for you to tell, did I turn my hip over, am I doing a 45 kick, it's easy to tell. So you're in your fighting stance, you bring your foot up and down. So for this kick, you really do want to turn over your hip. Now doing 45 kicks isn't bad. You know, if someone comes at you, and 45 kick is more of a speed kick, I would say, at least from me doing Taekwondo, my background in Taekwondo. It was a speed technique. It's not bad, you know, if someone's coming at you, just go like this, you know, to try to keep them away. That's not bad. But, you know, if you do a roundhouse kick off the lead leg, so let's do this. You can either do like a skip roundhouse kick, or you can just lift your leg up. And when you do that, you're going to go backwards a little bit. So you're going to go, whoop, and then so say you do a roundhouse kick off the lead leg, but you don't do a skip forward. So you do roundhouse kick. I would usually do back kick or something after that, just because you're moving backwards a little bit. So roundhouse kick, you can even step and do a back kick, so that you get the momentum going, so that it's not just you doing a roundhouse kick and stepping straight down. So doing a roundhouse kick and then doing a back kick and going and then kind of doing like a circle. And then it's easier to move off to the side as well because you're already in that momentum. Momentum is really good. You want to keep the momentum going. Like I said in other videos, people will do a roundhouse kick and then a front kick and then they stop. That drives me nuts. I watch this at tournaments. I've watched this in videos. You cannot do that, especially in continuous sparring. If you are in point sparring, I kind of understand because they tell you to stop. But even then, like, you have to, a combination is more than 2 kicks. It's two or more kicks. But guys, you really, really want to do more than that. And roundhouse kick, you can do, so if you do a skip roundhouse kick, that's usually going forward. So that's usually you initiating an attack. Now if someone comes at you, sometimes I've gone like this to try to keep them away or to show them, hey, you're in my space. So I could do this if they were to back up, a kick like, you know, a kick like back kick would be a good kick to do because they're going to fall right into it. But, so like I said, skip roundhouse kick is usually, it can be based as an attack, but it's usually not going to score. It's usually used as a setup technique. Now when you do a skip one, your back foot is going to come up to your front foot and then you're going to kick. So your skip, you're not just going to, I can't even do it wrong. You have to have your back leg touch your front leg when you do a skip. So again, and if you need to practice this, practice just them hitting and then boop. You can also do what we call a jungle stance. This is very important. Foot in front and then a roundhouse kick. So you can do that. You know, you're standing here, and then what that helps you do too is stepping in front. You get more torque, step down, back kick, and then you could do another front kick. Jungle kick, or doing a jungle stance, you typically don't see when you're sparring because you don't want to cross your feet. You in trouble. Just like if you flat-footed, you get caught in a jungle stance, you are in trouble. Now, if you can do it really quick and go at them, that's better. But if you get caught in that, if you're in the middle of doing a jungle stance and somebody kicks you, you're going to go down. You don't have any stability. You're going to fall. So usually you don't see that in sparring, but you can do it if you can do it fast enough. You can do a jump roundhouse kick. So you can even do a skip forward and then a jump, and then I like to usually, now if you score at that, that's awesome, but I usually like to do some other technique, whether it be side kick, back kick, hook kick, back hook kick, anything like that. I like to mix my combinations up with a bunch of different kicks. A lot of people you'll see might do this, where they do roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, and they just keep doing the same kick until the person gets here, and then they're in trouble again because they have to move straight back. And this person might do roundhouse kick, back kick, you know, and they might mix up legs like I just did. I started on my right foot, but I ended with a back kick on my left foot. So, you know, doing that roundhouse kick is meant to push somebody back, which it does, but it's usually not a scoring combination because you're just doing roundhouse kicks. I've seen people do that before, and they didn't score, and they were in a lot of trouble because they weren't able to move back in time. Now, if you do that and you move to the side, you might have a chance of not getting hit. But if there's one thing that I cannot emphasize enough, is that it's footwork. You have to have really good footwork in order to make these kicks work. Like I said, you know, roundhouse kick is an awesome kick. It's a power technique. This also turns into tornado kick, where you do the, it's a 360 kick where you jump, you switch your feet up in the air, and then you do a roundhouse kick. It's really hard to show you because I don't have a target to show you on. That is also a power technique, you can initiate an actual attack with that, and you can actually score with that one. Or I've done before where I would do a roundhouse kick, and then I would do the tornado kick. That's what it looks like. And I would score with that. Tornado kick you can usually score a little bit more with. Tornado kick you can actually switch out the round kick for an actual crescent kick, because they have the same kind of motion. So attacking with tornado kick is really well. Tornado kick can be very difficult for some people to get down. It has a roundhouse kick in it, but you really want to make sure you get the basics of the kicks down if you're going to advance them or amplify them. It's really, really, really important to get the basics down. I've seen people try to speed through things, and they've ended up either getting injured or they had to go through everything again and start from scratch, and that's really, really difficult. So I know some people, you know, they just really want to get to this point and they have this goal in their head. Tornado kick didn't necessarily come easy to me. Roundhouse kick did. A lot of other kicks did, but this was a little bit difficult. And what's difficult about it is you're doing a spin, and you have to know the right time to prepare and kick in the air. A lot of times I would kick when I was over here instead of here. So it can be a little bit difficult, but I remember being in my basement practicing over and over and over and over and over in slow motion, and then finally I got it and I was able to speed it up, and now it's one of my best kicks. It's my top 2 best kicks, and I love tornado kick, and I was determined to get that sucker down. So moral of the story, take it slow when you're learning to do a kick. It will, trust me, it will help you in the future. If I hadn't have tried doing tornado kick slowly and done it the right way, my tornado kicks would have been sloppy, they would have been bad, they wouldn't have been good enough to score or to even push people back. They wouldn't have the impact that they do now. So it's really, really important to have the basics down. And you know, if you want to, you can even do the flip kick that I showed you guys last time, where you do the front kick low to set up and then the roundhouse kick. You know, you can do something like that, or you could do just a straight roundhouse kick to the head. You could do a skip and then a roundhouse kick to the head. So what that does is, if you do a skip front kick to the solar plex, so we do a skip front kick, and let's say they block that and they move out of the way, you can do a roundhouse kick high. Typically you want to go on the outside of the person to score with a head kick. So if you go to the inside, they're going to block it. But with this, we already set up for them to block it. It's basically a kick we want them to block it. So skip roundhouse kick, they block it. And if that does not work, if they push, if they push your kick down, you will either go this way, or no, they're going to push your kick and you're going to go backwards. Usually that's the 2 common things that you see. So if you're wanting to set up with a roundhouse kick, if you're wanting to set up with a skip roundhouse kick and they don't block your kick so that it goes straight down, so that you can do the head one, which could do, if you do a skip roundhouse kick and you end up here, side kick. That would be instinctually what I would do to keep them away. It's a straight line technique. They're right there. You're in a really good position to do it. That's probably the kick that I would do. Now, if you do skip roundhouse kick and they push you back like this, what I would do is either do a back kick off of that, or, because we're falling backwards, I would just move over and possibly do a roundhouse kick to the head from the side. It's harder to defend when you're going forward, someone moves to the side. It's harder to defend because all of your energy is going forward. This person steps to the side. You can get momentum, especially if you're going to do a spin kick. You can get momentum, and it's much easier to score that way. So I would say roundhouse kick, at least in my system and in Taekwondo, is a kick. We also have the butterfly kick, which, go back and look at some of my other videos where I actually had a bag. That is where you do roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, over and over and over again. That's also a speed drill that you can do. That's a Taekwondo kick, hands down. That is a Taekwondo kick. That's usually an attack kick where you push people back. really, really fast. And then you can alter it to where it's do, 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 boop. So that's actually really hard for people to learn too, because it's hard to get the balance of when you should kick and when you should not kick. Also, one of my favorite things, typically don't use it in competition, but you could. So speed techniques, let me show you a couple of what you can do. If you really want to work on your speed, what you do is roundhouse kick. Now you want to step down with the ball of your foot only. You don't want to do roundhouse kick flat-footed. You want to do roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick. And do it only as fast as you can. Take a breather, do the other side, take a breather, do the other side. That is one speed technique that I've done for my roundhouse kicks. You can do that on a bag or you can do it on a paddle. Endurance ones that we would do jogging and stuff, or we would do actual sparring with a bag, and we would just continuously go until they said stop, and that would work up your endurance. So that is roundhouse kick, and a whole bunch of other things thrown in there. Basically, roundhouse kick can be used for a whole bunch of different things. Lead leg roundhouse kick, rear leg roundhouse kick, jungle steps, skip kicks, going off to the side. Footwork is very important. Roundhouse kick is like one of the basic kicks that you can turn into a lot of different things, and that you can use to off of movements. Like if your kick gets deflected or whatnot, you can still use roundhouse kick or variation like tornado kick or something like that in order to kind of combat that. So I hope you guys enjoyed, hope you liked it, and if you guys have another kick that you want me to do, leave it down below, or if you want to see something more broken down that you didn't see in this video, let me know, leave the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!